Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. There's a direct correlation on dramatically improving the probabilities of being not only a correct trade at the correct time, but a high profit trade at the correct time of a market reversal. We've seen the change of investor sentiment occurring in the Dow this past week, when we had almost a bullish engulfing signal. Now, when I say almost, it was within a couple points of the close and the open. Close enough to say that's probably a bullish engulfing signal. The confirmation, again, was on Friday when it gapped up through the T-line, your final or your first major confirmation of a change of investor sentiment. And as you can see, it closed right at the 50-day moving average, still providing the implication that the uptrend is now in progress, especially with your stochastics coming up out of the oversold area, that we should see at least some more positive trading. That was also confirmed by the fact that the NASDAQ, even though it didn't have a full-scale reversal signal, did a gap up through the T-line, through the 50, now trading at the 34. There's a little gap to fill here. There's still some more upside potential. And this puts us in a position where we can start looking for not only the bullish signals, but the strongest bullish signals. One of your strongest bullish signals is the best friend signal, especially coming out of the oversold area. A best friend signal is a doji followed by a gap up. We call it your best friend because it's got two powerful implications. One, a high probability the direction of the trend can be identified. And two, the magnitude of that, the strength of that trend is going to be very strong. So anytime we see the best friend signal, it is in a category of what we call the 18 top ranked signals and patterns. We know that there's, or you should know by now, there are 12 major signals. You don't have to learn all 50 or 60 candlestick signals. You just learn the 12 major signals, and they're going to produce the vast majority, like 99.99% of all the trades that you're going to be looking for. And then the patterns that the Japanese rice traders illustrated to us, that the prices move in patterns that's just based upon normal human nature. So this is where we can identify the strongest trade setups. Look at the series of dojis. Remember, dojis represent indecision. If one doji represents indecision, a series of dojis represents great indecision. And we know the characteristic of a best friend signal, which is a doji with indecisive trading, and them gapping up, telling you exactly what their new investor sentiment is, which is usually going to produce a very strong price move. That's why our recommendation on task was based upon having the visual alert and then the gap up best friend, especially through the T-line, telling you there's now a new strong trend in progress. Same scenario on a recommendation on Rivian. Look at your fry pan bottom and look what the characteristic was. Doji, doji, indecisive, doji hammers, then your doji best friend gap up. What'd that tell you about this rounding bottom, fry pan bottom indecision? Now they've made a very strong decision of which way they're going to move this price. What's the expectation? Usually a lot more upside. We recommended AGIO because we had a doji gap up through the T-line, through the perceived resistance level. So again, there's your best friend signal that has extremely high probabilities you're going to be trading higher. And what's our rationale for staying long in this position? As long as it doesn't close below the T-line, we're still in an uptrend. This is our expectation. Again, ASAN was recommended on positive trading on on Friday. Because there's your indecisive trading, a gap up best friend through the T-line, implying there's still a lot more upside. So the benefit we have of identifying not only when there's a likelihood of a major change of investor sentiment, but we also have the ability using the candlestick signals to show us what the strongest new price moves are going to be setting up. So there are two major functions of candlestick signals. One that produces extremely high probabilities of a reversal, as in our recommendation on WLG. There's your morning star signal, which is one of your 12 major signals implying there's an uptrend starting. There's your doji sandwich. We call it a McMuffin because that becomes your morning sandwich or your McMuffin. That combination is an extremely high probability the bulls are in control. And your other factor is identifying where your strong signals, like the kicker signal off the 50, or your evening star, your doji failure at the 200 and a gap down below the T line, or your morning star signal right on the 50 confirming back up. These are all extremely high probability setups, and this is what we're going to be setting up for September 24th. We're calling this the ultimate candlestick training. That is a function of not only recognizing what the overall market is doing, but then identifying which candlestick signals and patterns have the strongest price move, and then what are the best entry strategies, where are your stop losses, where do you take profits. That is all added into our training, and the whole point of having that information in your mental arsenal is to get your emotions out of your trading. Once that occurs, now you're analyzing what price moves are doing based upon high probability situations. So instead of just dumping right into that training in 2 weeks, join us for a 2-week free trial. Again, this is the horseradish marketing, which H.J. Hines showed people what the quality was of his product by using clear glass and then giving everybody a taste test. That's exactly what we want to do. When you see the common sense built into candlestick signals and the probability factors of being in a correct trade, you'll start analyzing prices not based upon rumor, projections, somebody's prognosis. You're analyzing it on the basis of what everybody is doing. So join us September 24th. When you combine all this together, now you're definitely in control of your own investing. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.